Yo, what's going on, guys? Crispy Flakes here. So as you may have heard by now, the New York Knicks are interested in trading for Andre Drummond. So I know when this news was first released, Knicks fans and really NBA fans in general thought this made no sense whatsoever. So for today's video, we are going to check out what exactly the Knicks would be like and also the Detroit Pistons would be like if some sort of trade were to go down. Just try to make a little bit of sense of it. Now, before we get on this, if you guys could please do me a quick favor and like the video and of course subscribe if you're new to the channel. Guys, I'm trying to grow the channel, so it would be greatly appreciated. And as always, guys, check out my second channel, Extra Crispy, for daily NBA content over there. Just reacted to the video, what if Steph Curry was 7 foot tall? And yeah, Steph Curry 7 foot tall, that is something I definitely don't want to ever have to actually experience. But okay, so no official trade has been released yet, so I tried to put together one based off of what I've been seeing other people kind of talk about and really what I thought made sense for both sides. So looking at the trade for the Knicks and the Detroit Pistons, it would be something like Dennis Smith Jr. It's actually said that Dennis Smith is somebody that the Pistons organization are really high on. The Mavericks first round draft pick, which is not going to be good because the Mavericks are really good now. Bobby Portis, simply to make salaries work. They don't really need Bobby Portis anymore. They got so many forwards and centers on the team. And Wayne Ellington, once again, that could be another Towson player too. It's just pretty much just to make salaries work. In exchange for Andre Drummond, and I did Svi Mikhailuk and also Tim Frazier, once again, just to make the salaries and the player amounts work right there. Okay. So now that we got that out of the way, now we got the trade out of the way, let's look at the New York Knicks. Why exactly would the Knicks trade for Andre Drummond? I have no damn idea. I have no idea who in the organization of the Knicks decided that this was even a good news to release to the public. Because, of course, the Knicks are notorious for years past of just making stupid moves. Joakim Noah, $72 million contract, whoever that was. So many, just on top of that too, man. But pretty much it's like the Knicks signed all these guys to 1 or 2 year contracts to kind of ensure that they had money and financial flexibility in the 2021 NBA loaded superstar offseason, right? So they could kind of have another crack at that. Because we all know the last one did not go according to plan. So by getting Drummond, I mean, that's kind of like assuming the Knicks are going to give him some sort of max contract. Because there's, why would a team that's 10-29 trade for Andre Drummond, who's set to be a free agent, unless they didn't have the desire to sign him? Now, maybe their idea is okay, Drummond is somebody we can kind of build around and maybe convince another big-time free agent to come play with Dre, because he's not a bad player, guys. I mean, I know people kind of are saying that that Andre Drummond's not all that good. Yes, his stat line doesn't really lead to wins, which is the big part, but that's because he's typically the first or second option on your team. And for the Pistons, it's they never really have any good guards around him. I mean, Derrick Rose has been great, but based off years past, it's been Reggie Jackson and Bruce Brown, who are fine, but they're not superstar guards or nothing like that. But this season, 18 points, 16 rebounds for Andre Drummond. 3 assists, 2 steals, 2 blocks. Has been way better defensively, which is the big part of his game this season, man. Just the big time improvement has been his defense. But the issue with this is why get Andre Drummond when you literally have a younger, cheaper version in Mitchell Robinson? So the big knockoff on Robinson this season is that he can't really stay out of foul trouble. That's why he doesn't really start games, is because it seems anytime he goes out there, he's out just like that, getting 2 fouls real quick, and eventually, man, just picking up a lot of them, and that's it. But you look at his stats, man, 10 points, 7 rebounds, 2 blocks per game. He's fantastic. He's young. He's somebody that could be part of their young game plan. And look at the contract, 2 years, $3.22 million. It's why not just work with that? So I can't really make much sense out of it, guys. I really cannot make much sense out of why the Knicks would go for Andre Drummond unless they're just looking. I have no reason. I don't have it. If you guys have one, let me know in the comment section below. But that's the type of trade I kind of figured out. Now, for the Detroit Pistons side of things, I think it would make a little bit more sense if they were able to pull off this type of trade because, not only do they get the asset of not paying Andre Drummond, who's not led them to really any sort of success, a max contract or a super max contract, but also you get some good young piece out of it. Let's talk about actually Dennis Smith Jr. first. I know Dennis Smith has had a down season. He's gone through a traumatic life event. I think it was his mother that passed away. I could be wrong about that. Don't quote me on that, but I believe that was, I know it was a family member that passed away that he was very near and dear to and close to and stuff like that, man. So yeah, his numbers have been down this season. He's probably just not in the best headspace right now. But from a basketball standpoint, I absolutely loved Dennis Smith Jr.'s rookie season. Like, I thought he had like that grit and grind mentality. Like, he attacked the basket, extremely athletic, decent enough playmaker. Of course, has to work on his efficiency and his turnovers, but that will come with age. And I really think if he can really improve his three-point shot, career average of 31.5%, it's like, I think if he can improve on that and get to like 35-36%, it would be fantastic for his game. I feel like also just him playing with Luke Kennard, that's a nice complementary type of duo right there, because Luke Kennard is more the perimeter-oriented type of guy, and Dennis Smith could be more like the attack the basket type of player. And worst case scenario, it's like, okay, let's say Dennis Smith doesn't pan out. I think at least he could be a good backup point guard given the right circumstance. But also what I like about this trade here too, man, is looking at the lineup is, you got Dennis Smith as the point guard. Derrick Rose, who they pretty much went on the record to say, well, they will not trade Derrick Rose unless he requests a trade, which could happen. And I'd be all for that because Derrick Rose deserves to play for, a contending team the way he's been playing this season. But let's say he does stick around, an athletic guard that knows how to get to the basket. I think he'd be the perfect mentor for Dennis Smith Jr. for this season and next year. So then eventually, the reins get tossed over full-time to Dennis Smith. So I like that fit a lot. But also the idea of Bobby Portis seems kind of cool. Bobby Portis, a great stretch big, and also not even like that bad of a rebounder. You look last year for the Washington Wizards, Chicago Bulls, 14 points, 8 rebounds per game. It's like he can definitely get it done there. Very good three-point shooter, so you get the spacing with him. So eventually when Blake Griffin's healthy, you have Blake Griffin, who when healthy is a great three-point shooter. You have some nice spacing right there, which is going to be great for guys like Sekou Demboya, that like to attack the basket. Although Seko's been very nice in limited games this season, but it just seems like an interesting fit. And plus you get that Dallas first round draft pick, which isn't going to be good. It's going to be like a 20th pick or worse. But at the same time, it's like you get that for a guy that's probably gone after this year anyway. So for the Pistons, it would be a low risk, high reward move. Assuming they don't want to bring Drummond back. So I like that a lot from both sides here, man. So yes, for this season, what we're going to do is we're going to simply simulate the season. This isn't really going to be like a rebuild because to me, both these teams are so far away unless the Knicks can like convince Giannis to sign there, which not going to hold my breath in that happening. But if they could, if they could do that, then that would be great for them. But yeah, probably not going to happen there. So yeah, we are going to go ahead and simulate the rest of this season. And I'll probably do like some minor moves next season because I want to see both these teams completely healthy. I want to see RJ Barrett a year better and just kind of like put my twist on the offseason. Let's go ahead and simulate this one, man, and see what happens. Both these teams definitely not making the playoffs, though. Okay, so we're at the end of the regular season. Pistons 21-60, New York Knicks 29-51. So they actually improved a little bit right here. But yes, we got the final game against the Knicks. Simulate with Simcast. I want to see how both these teams are doing, their new players and stuff like that. Simulate game. So yeah, Knicks looks like probably going to beat them, man. Unless Bobby Portis can go off against his former team. But yeah, I'm not going to bet on that one. Knicks win 198, actually a close game. So we got Derrick Rose 9. Of course he went off. Because of course I had to say there's no way he goes off, and then he drops 18 points and 18 rebounds. So pretty much you are Andre Drummond with a 3-point shot. We got Dennis Smith at 14 points. That's it. That's all he did. Okay, let's look at the Andre Drummond 27-19. Kevin Knox doing his thing. They got some other guys in here they traded for. But yeah, Tim Frazier, Steve Mikhailuk, not even like part of the active players. All right, so simulate through date. Said neither one of these teams made the playoffs right here, guys. But I do want to go ahead and check out the player stats, see how both of the new players did, or the new players, I should say, on their new teams, since being traded for them. So looking at Drummond, 16-15 on the season. But looking at his split stats, we want to see how he did roughly after January, because that's when he was traded for. So yeah, looking at like February, March type of time, 14 points, 15 points, dominating the boards, playing good enough defense. Looks like his scoring actually went down quite a bit. I don't know if that's just getting fewer minutes or just having more options around him, but not really, man, because like, I don't know. It's kind of interesting. It's kind of interesting when you think about it. Looking at the Pistons, Bobby Portis is actually the third leading scorer on the team. So him since January. Wow, he had a fantastic February. Bro, he was actually balling. My God. Look at that. 22-12, 20-12, 22-12. Yo, gotta play this guy more. Oh my life, man. Like, I was not expecting that. In all due respect, he's shooting damn 18 times a game. I don't know if we really signed up for that with Bobby Portis, but still. Reggie Jackson, Luke Kennard, Dennis Smith. So he ends the season with 13 points per game, 2 rebounds, 3 assists. Definitely want to see the assist go up a bit. But looking at himself as a starter, actually, 16 points, 3 assists per game. So looking actually roughly like his rookie season, man. Not bad numbers at all. Of course, it did not lead to wins, 21-61 on the season. But yeah, that's pretty much all the new players they got. Seiko did not play all that great. I was expecting more out of him, as a full-time starter with Blake Griffin being out with injury. But yeah, guys, I'm going to go ahead and now simulate probably to the NBA draft. And we're going to see which both of these teams can do. I don't think the Pistons have the Mavericks. I don't think it's this season's pick. I think it's next season's. But yeah, both these teams should get good draft picks. Okay, so we are at the NBA draft. I know that the Knicks probably look for some type of point guard. Really might just be best player available. And the Pistons probably aiming at, on the way Bobby Portis, we got the 3rd pick for the Pistons. So they're going to get somebody really good here. Oh, wait. Yeah, okay, Pistons got the 3rd pick. I don't know what pick the Knicks have. They actually finished a lot better than I thought they would. So Detroit, looking at guys available. So you got LaMelo Ball, you got RJ Hampton, Vernon Carey Jr. That's kind of who I'm leaning towards to. Like, he could be like the new Drummond for this team, which I don't really know if you want that, but at the same time, we got Bobby Portis at center, guys. Like, that's just like not like a long-term thing. Small forward also was in the position we need, but you got Obi Toppin. He actually would not be a bad small forward to have. Because you're looking at Dennis Smith, Luke Kennard, Obi Toppin, Sekou Demboya, and Bobby Portis. But then we got Blake Griffin too, so we might actually want to keep Sekou at the small forward spot. So I think I'm going to go with, man, Cole Anthony would be like perfect too. But like I said, I'm trying to think based off like what we have now. You know what I'm saying? Because these point guards are all better. But if Dennis Smith is who we're trading for, and that's who like we're investing in, for this video in particular, I don't want to go for like Cole Anthony. Like Cole Anthony is like my dream pick. Like, I would absolutely love that. But for the sake of like realism with what we got, I'm gonna go with Vernon Carey Jr. I'm going to go with Vernon Carey Jr. to be the new center on this team. Good athletic player, plays on the inside. So basically just a cheaper version of Drummond now. Knicks-wise, of course, every single point guard's going to be... Oh, okay, we still got some point guards available. We got RJ Hampton. Okay, that's what they need as a point guard. I feel like RJ would be a nice pickup for them, so that's what we're going to go with. No questions asked there. Although, like, LaMelo or Cole Anthony would be better in my... Well, I don't know. RJ or LaMelo? Who would you guys rather have? Let me know in the comment section below. All right, next up, Knicks are on the clock. They have an early second-round draft pick. So, once again, we probably want to go maybe just, like, best available. Let's go with Isaiah Stewart. I know this team has a ton of power forwards as is, but a lot of them are, like, on, like, one-year contracts, so at least this gives them, like, a project to type of work to kind of work with. So, yes, RJ and Isaiah Stewart. Perfect. And for the Pistons, Vernon Carey Jr. There we go, man. Team player options, Luke Kennard back. I am going to accept Bobby Portis' contract. Want to see how he does full time. Tony Snell is back on his deal, unfortunately, but it's not like any big name free agents are coming to the Pistons right now anyway, so it's all good. Andre Drummond, of course, declined his player option because he's trying to go for that max contract. We'll go Elfrid Payton back, and probably Reggie Bullock. The rest of the guys can walk away. Okay, so free agency-wise, what are both these teams trying to do? Well, just don't do anything stupid. And on that note, we are going to start with doing something stupid. And that is signing Andre Drummond to the contract he wants. Because that's what the Knicks would probably do, unfortunately speaking. Should they? No. Are they going to? Probably. Piston-wise, man, there's like not much really going on with him, man. I guess I was talking about... Well, no, because we got Vernon Carey probably for a backup center this season. So maybe just getting like some veteran players. Like Alec Burks would be kind of cool, I suppose. 7'9" overall small forward. That's kind of a large contract, but you know, you kind of got to pay him out, man. Jordan Clarkson, another cool pickup if we can get him on the team. I think I'd rather have Alec Burks the way he's been playing. Plus he can play small forward. We got Luke Kennard, we got Bruce Brown for the other spots. So yeah, that's all good. And Andre Drummond might have signed elsewhere, which would be, yep. Oh, man, guys. Wow. Okay. That's not... Okay. Alonzo Trier getting an offer from the Bulls. He ain't even playing, so we ain't going to match it. Okay. Yeah, he's just gone. Because sometimes, like, you still have, like, a chance to, like, go for players that signed elsewhere. But no, Andre Drummond is gone. He's on the San Antonio Spurs. He didn't even re-sign with them, which he doesn't have to. If he gets traded, like, he's still going to test free agency. All right, so what's like the best course of action now for both teams? Well, the Pistons, they seem to be all set. They're fine. For the Knicks, they have money to spend. I think they probably would bring back Marcus Morris. It sounds like he wants to like play with this team long term. He just seems like New York. There ain't nothing wrong with that. He's a good scorer in the right system, and it's like I could see that making sense. I could see that making sense. Any other position they really need though that we're gonna go for? No, because at this point, okay, this is what I'll do. I'm gonna get Marcus Gasol. No, I don't really want Marcus Gasol. Let's get like Mason Plumlee if we can get him on like a 2-year deal. Because, like, that's not that much money. He'd be, like, a nice, like, backup. I definitely would start Mitchell Robinson, though. But, yeah, so we go ahead. Come on. Oh, wait. It's about the 2-season rebuilds kind of confuse me sometimes, man. I meant to do the Knicks. My bad. Yo, we actually could afford quite a few players here. Christian Wood, Carmelo Anthony. Okay. Well, now that we have actually some money to actually spend, because I was looking at the wrong team, we'd want like a backup center. Like, honestly, if they could afford to get Montrezl Harrell, that'd be a big time W for them. That would be a big time W because, like, he doesn't mind playing backup, and it gives them something promising going forward. So, yeah, we'll get Montrezl Harrell on the Knicks to back up Mitchell Robinson probably, and until Mitchell Robinson gets better with his foul trouble, because that's a nice little 1-2 punch, and Montrezl is cool at that. So, and if anything, it gives them, like, a guy they could probably trade eventually if they wanted to. But outside of getting, like, a good young player in Montrezl, I wouldn't really do too much more if I was the Knicks, just because, you know, you don't want to really screw up your chances in 2021 NBA free agency. But at the same time, if you have an opportunity to get a guy like a Montrezl Harrell, you go for that, because there's no guarantees with this Knicks team. So we pretty much got things set here. The course of action, if you're the Knicks, is to not do anything completely outlandishly stupid, which they would, trying to get Andre Drummond back. But at the same time, you know, if you can get yourself a nice young piece that can help you win, you know, maybe you go for it. But I'm going to go ahead, guys, simulate to the beginning of the regular season, and we're going to check out both of these teams. Not expecting either one to make the playoffs. If I had to go, like bet on either team, maybe the 8th seed, just because, you know, Blake Griffin, if he can come back healthy and stuff, or if RJ Barrett progresses that nicely. Of course, again, Montrezl is great. So, yeah, let's go ahead and simulate to the beginning of the regular season and see what both these teams are looking like. Okay, so here are the teams going into the beginning of the regular season. For the Knicks, you're looking at RJ Hampton, RJ Barrett, RJ Thomas too. That's kind of cool, man. Kind of like the thing they got going there marketing-wise. Marcus Morris at the 3. You got Julius Randle at the 4. Mitchell Robinson at the 5. Then benching, you got Montrezl Harrell, Elfrid Payton, Kevin Knox, Ivan Rabb, and Frank Ntilikina. That's not a bad look there, man. Like, do I think that? I don't know. Like, it's intriguing. It's definitely intriguing. And I think it gives them a nice little young foundation to work with. But also, you know, you got like the veterans out there like Marcus Morris and Julius Randle. Now, for the Detroit Pistons side of things, you're looking at Dennis Smith, Luka Nardisico, Blake Griffin, who's down to an 81 overall. I know a lot of people are saying, well, the Pistons would just trade Blake Griffin. You're going to have a tough time until he proves that he's all-star level again to trade away that contract there, man. I mean, 2 years left for a guy that had a very bad season this year. I mean, I know a lot of it's due to his injuries, but it could be career ending for him. That's as like bad as his knee injuries are right now, man. Then of course you got Bobby Portis as center, Derrick Rose, Alec Burks, Vernon Carey, and Bruce Brown to round out a 9-man rotation. So I'm not really expecting playoffs from either side. I could see both, like, maybe potentially get into the 8th spot, but we'll see how things go with that. So let's go ahead, guys, simulate this NBA season, see how the Knicks and the Pistons do in this case. I know for the Knicks, you know, Drummond's not on here. It kind of sucks because that's the type of video it is. But hey, that's part of it. Like, you could trade for a guy and he could just walk away. So now that we have to do that, let's roll with the punches and see if we can make this team competitive. Okay, so a record of 31-50 for the Knicks. They still rebuilding, I guess, guys. Pistons 28-54. So not looking good. Still for either side. Wasn't expecting it to this video, man. Like I said, this is more like a short-term type of thing, like what these teams would kind of be thinking going on with these trades and stuff. So here are the awards for you guys all to see. All-NBA first, All-NBA second, and All-NBA third. See if either team's players made the, we got the Pistons, Vernon Carey making the All-Rookie first team. And All-NBA second, we got RJ Hampton, you know, starting full-time at point guard over there, man. So, yep, neither team in the playoffs. Let's go over the player stats on the season real quick here. For the Pistons, Blake Griffin actually bounced back, guys. 21.7 rebounds, 4 assists. At this point, I would definitely trade him away if possible. And then Dennis Smith as the full-time starting point guard after an offseason with the team. 20 points, 4 assists. That is phenomenal if you ask me. Bobby Portis continue to play great basketball. If he was doing this, be such a W, man. We got Derrick Rose, Alec Burks doing nice out there. Vernon Carey, 13 and 9, very promising. About 2 to 3 blocks per game. Like I was saying, like the new Andre Drummond for the squad. Luke Kennard, I like the 7 assists. Wish the scoring was up a little bit. Seiko getting better with each season. At this point, he's only 20 years of age. So yeah. Over for the Knicks, Montrez, leading scorer at 20 points, 8 rebounds per game. I do think if they are able to get him, they should definitely pull the trigger on that. Julius Randle, RJ Barrett, Marcus Morris, all scoring the basketball pretty nicely. But then you got the new point guard, RJ Hampton, at 14 points and 6 assists. Definitely not a bad start. Definitely not a bad start to this season and his NBA career. So, yeah, like I said, neither one of these teams made the playoffs. Long story short, what are my final thoughts on this trade? First and foremost, Knicks, don't do it. It makes no sense. Don't get Andre Drummond. You don't need Andre Drummond. Pistons, if you're able to trade Andre Drummond to the Knicks and get some of these young assets, do it. It makes 100% from your side of things. If you could get Dennis Smith and or Bobby Portis or insert good, decent young asset contract over here, you definitely do that, man. 10 times out of 10, you definitely do that. So, yeah, Knicks, be patient. You have Mitchell Robinson. Just continue building for the future. Hopefully the 2021 NBA offseason pays off. That's all I got, guys. Thank you all so much for watching, and peace out, my friends.